Okay, hi, I'm Eileen and I'm from Tacoma. I started riding transit about a year and a half ago, and I made that decision because I was in a car accident in which my car got totaled. And it really made me think about whether or not I wanted to get another car and all of the expense involved with that. It's very easy for me to ride transit to most of the places I want to get to. One of the main bus lines in Tacoma, Route 1, is 6 blocks from my house, so that's pretty easy for me to access. I can take the bus on a daily basis to pretty much all of the places that I want to get to. Because I'm retired, I am able to go to the Y 5 days a week, so that's kind of my primary, and I can do that on one bus. And it takes me, I walk 6 blocks to the bus, and it drops me off 6 blocks from the Y. So it's pretty easy. Other things that I do and access by bus, I was surprised to find out I could easily get buses to Emergency Food Network, which is out in Lakewood off the South Tacoma Way at 92nd. That surprised me as I started to look at all the places I need to get to and what buses can get me there. And libraries, medical appointments, bus and link. One of the things I use all the time is the transit app, and that works really well. I've been in neighborhoods I hadn't been in before because it instructs me to take certain connections, like coming home from 92nd and South Tacoma Way. I go different ways, so I see different neighborhoods. I like the accessibility. I like the frequency during the days, during the weeks of many of the bus lines that I need. What do I enjoy about taking transit? Well, I like that I don't have to worry about getting a parking space or having my car. I also like that it's saving me a lot of money. As I said, did not replace my car, so I had the payout for my car that I was able to put in the bank and use that as my travel money. I mentioned being retired and now on a fixed income, I don't have that ability to save money for vacations, and that chunk of money was handy. Also, I don't have to pay car insurance or maintenance or registration fees, so I feel like it's great savings. As a senior, the fare rate on the bus is great. I'm just saving, I don't have to spend money on gas and save a lot of money that way. Otherwise, it's just nice not to have to drive. Take the bus to Seattle sometimes, and that's a big plus. To not have to drive and navigate traffic and just have the ride, a comfortable ride that gets me where I want to go. Some of the challenges I've experienced have been around weather, because not all the bus stops have shelters. Some of them, in fact, the one I use most frequently, doesn't even have a place to sit, and only recently got a trash receptacle installed. Not that I need that, but it was nice to have at the bus stop. So a challenge of being out in the weather, and occasionally the timing. I've had to learn the timing of buses doesn't always mesh up, so that if you have a transfer to make, you might have to wait a little bit longer for the next bus. But that's also been a plus because it's helped me with my patience. So that's been a bit of a challenge. I was saying I can get to most of the places that I already was going to by driving, with a couple of exceptions. And I am a person who goes in the Puget Sound fairly regularly, and I used to be able to go in at Jack Hyde Beach when I drove down there and driving down to the Old Town area. There is no bus that goes to the Old Town area now. I think that route was discontinued right before I started using the bus line, so I'm not exactly sure where it ran, but I already feel like I miss it. So that has kind of been taken away, other than asking people for rides. That's a place I haven't been able to access as easily as I could by car. Other challenges that have come up, I was at a show downtown, at the Elks, at the McMiniman Spanish Ballroom on a Sunday night, and the number 1 bus would take me right home, 6 blocks away from there, but it stops running at 9:30, and the show wasn't over till after 10. And that seems way too early to stop a bus from on a Sunday night when there might be shows downtown or activities that people are taking part in. So that's been a challenge. I know there's a runner service, and I know when they eliminated some of the lines, the regular routes, they put in the runner service, but I have not found it to be an adequate replacement. I have taken it a couple of times. There have been wait times, so you couldn't guarantee you could get to someplace on time. I would never use it for an appointment because I couldn't guarantee, I wouldn't know exactly when it's coming and so when I would get to my destination. Other times I've tried to use it from a location downtown, Commerce Transit Station, and it told me it wasn't available. I don't know if that was a problem with the app or it really doesn't run to the Commerce Transit Station. I thought it did. But that didn't work for me. So I have been stymied in getting to some of the places I like to get to by not having that runner service, which I understood was supposed to take up the slack for those routes that they had discontinued. One of the things that I was very pleasantly surprised at was how well bus drivers manage not just driving and traffic, but also all of their passengers. And there are a lot of passengers with mobility issues, and the drivers are wonderful and helpful, making sure that folks are safe. They also address any potential safety issue that could come up or noise issue. They don't just let things happen. So I feel like it's very safe. I have found, for the most part, the drivers are very polite and engaging. They're humans too, so occasionally somebody has a grumpy day. But for the most part, that's probably been the most pleasant surprise. And I'm sorry to say, I wasn't sure I was expecting that. My previous experience with bus riding was way back when, back in Massachusetts, in my high school and college days. And bus drivers didn't talk to you at all, and the stops weren't announced. You'd better know where you're going. So it really is easy to ride the bus now. The stops upcoming you can see them visually, read on a reader board. It is announced. So that makes it easy to get where you're going. Oh, the transit app, interestingly, I don't know if you're still recording, works in other places. That totally surprised me. I thought the transit app was specific to Pierce Transit, and I use it here all the time, but I have been in Boston and I have been in Portland and opened my transit app and it works there too. So that was kind of a pleasant surprise. Maybe just to me, maybe other users of apps would not have been surprised, but I was. I thought that was